The season premiere of Underground is underway now. I wonder what kind of contraband everyone has. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hey guys, welcome to the season 2 premiere of Underground. As you can hear, we're hyped up. We're freedom from Beyonce. Sally's over here literally losing her mind because that's what this episode made us amazing. Do. We can't get into it, but we can't wait to get into it. But before we do, I'm Elayna. You can follow me on all social platforms at Hey It's Lay. Where can we find you?
Man, you can hang out with me, Franceli Chapman, at all things at Selly Hangout.
Clearly, like we're just too hyped.
Listen, I'm excited. It's International Women's Day.
So that's exciting.
Woman power
Absolutely.
In the panel.
And then I have on my Underground shirt.
Come on now.
Kinda see that
wearing my red to rep all my women. I'm super excited.
I'm like pumped up because the way that the episode ended literally had my mouth on the ground.
Agape.
I was not prepared. I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I just felt like a kid lost. Like I wanted to run. Matter of fact, I think I might have to go for like a 4-mile run and just have freedom play.
Listen, every time the show opens since season 1, it makes me want to run. Like literally, last year when season 1 was happening, I was training for a marathon, and I literally had music from the show. Like I Googled it and made it part of my running playlist.
It was great.
It's just that good. I was like,
every scene that they incorporated music was amazing.
Oh
like
my God.
It intensified
music
the scene
choice
so much
is just,
better.
Shout out to the music supervisor on Underground. Hey now.
Okay, well, this is season 2 and this is the first episode, and we kind of got a glimpse of what's going to happen this season. We got introduced to Harriet Tubman and such. But before we kind of jump into what's going to happen and everything like that, I kind of want to just go through the characters because we're in a place right now where it's not the same as season 1. Like I thought that the story may have picked back up from season 1, but so much time has passed.
And we're getting reintroduced to everybody.
We're getting and people have changed. People are new. And let's start with Ernestine.
Oh. Okay, can I just give a special shout out to Amira Van?
She's so gorgeous.
Who is a beast and an Afro-Latina. She's half black, half Puerto Rican, and she actually speaks Spanish. And so the representation of Ernestine is so important because, you know, slaves came in all colors. And Spanish people are African diaspora as well. And we were slaves as well. So her just being on the show as a woman of color that represents both is just... And she's a beast. She comes from the theater, and her character is just something that I love so much.
Listen, last week was the official premiere of the show.
Yes.
And we both were there.
Yes.
And I got a chance to meet her on the red carpet. And her personality is just so amazing.
She's a gem.
She's phenomenal.
She's a gem.
And then now that I had this encounter with her last week, watching the episode today, it was just like, wow, like it blew me even more away because I had a chance to talk with her.
Right.
And I'm just like, it's just so amazing. She is great. She did great. And even in this first episode, I'm excited to see what her art will what's going to happen with her art because she's a new person.
Oh my God. Because like in season 1, she was the pillar.
Right.
She ran the house. She was the queen bee.
Right.
And now we open up with seeing her at the bottom.
Broken.
She's working in the fields. Like what? Someone who never got her hands dirty in that way. Because Ernestine's always getting her hands dirty. But in this capacity, and then to be under the thumb of this kind of man. And listen, on International Women's Day, it was hard to watch something like that because she's so empowering to me. And then she's still powerful in her performance, but we're seeing a side of her where I'm just not used to.
Right. I didn't even know that she was capable of being knocked this low. You know what I mean? Like we're in the slave era at this point.
Right.
So the resilience is phenomenal.
Right.
They're already going through so much. So the fact that on top of all that she's dealing with, she went from a house slave to a field worker. She went from being on top to being in a domestic violent relationship. She went from always having her head on straight to now taking drugs and trying to numb out the pain and numb out what's happening. And it was just like, okay, Ernestine, who are you? And then and on top of that, she's being haunted, by
her demons,
her mistakes, the things that she did wrong. And the finale of season 1 kind of opened up with her in prayer trying to confess the fact that she killed Pearly May and etc. But this season we see Pearly May still there haunting her.
Yes.
And I think that was just that resembles the fact that Ernestine is really a good person. Because if anyone was to kill someone like she did with Pearly May, they wouldn't bat an eye. But the fact that it's haunting her, she's low because of it. Right. She really feels affected. And it was just like, okay, so deep down somewhere, I know that you're still there. When are you going to come out?
I mean, there were a lot of things. Listen, if you were under these conditions, there were a lot of things that probably you wouldn't even think you'd be capable of doing, but survival and the need to protect your family.
Right.
It just supersedes morals, integrity. I mean, I do not judge these people at all because I cannot even fathom what it must be like to have been enslaved in this way. And then just the arc of the episode in general of how pivotal women were to this movement. Like, women in general have been pivotal to movements in the history of America, but specifically, like you said, Harriet Tubman, like even the white women that came together, like there were just so many women representation.
And we're definitely gonna get into the women's movement because I made a big note of that.
Yes.
Like I really did. I think that even some of the fans who watched last season, no one was surprised when Ernestine killed Pearly May.
Oh,
that was just like, okay,
we saw that coming.
You had to protect your daughter. Like I didn't see it coming, but she had to do what she had to do, and she was protecting her own, which is fine. I think the surprise element is the fact that now she's being haunted by it. So I kind of just want her to heal and I want her to move forward because I know that she's a key factor into freedom for everyone else, and even with the plantation that she's on now. She's gonna be on top once again, and that's clear. She still has a very active sex life, which has been introduced to us.
Now.
I've always
now. Come on, girl, get it where you can. Like
season 1, all we saw was her and Tom.
But see, she's strategic.
She is.
Shout outs to strategy because she makes sure that if she's opening her legs, it's gonna make sense for her situation. Even in this season, although the man she's dealing with, it's not good. It's not a good look at all. But they have their own quarters to live in. There's still some sort of power over. Either way, it's not the best condition, but it's better than it would be. So she knows how to pick them. I'll say that much.
Yeah, we're gonna have front row seats to her bedroom.
Though. I don't like his woman beating self. But,
Robert Christopher Riley.
But he's
gorgeous.
He's good on the eyes. When got that body,
he's good on the eyes,
yes.
But for this show, it's not working for me.
No.
So let's move on to Rosalie, and the reason that we jumped straight into Rosalie is because I feel like this season we really get to see how much like her mom she is.
Yes.
Like we just broke down Ernestine, right, from season 1 to season 2. Season 1, she was on top, as you said. She was this strong, phenomenal woman. And Rosalie's always had those characteristics, but now that she's even more of an adult, opposed to her young adult teenage years, you really see her mom in her. You see the fight. You see her on top. You see her caring for everyone. And I appreciate that aspect of it. She's a lot more gentle now than she was in season 1.
Well, I think at the same time with Rosalie, she was so naive. She was close to the big house. She was only in the big house. And the whole first season was about her getting out into the world, seeing the world, losing her virginity. I mean, there was all these things that happened for her. She's a woman now, and she's part of the movement. She's a leader in the Underground Railroad. She's going back and saving people. So that's gonna change you. And she's still in love with her man and waiting to be reunited with her man. Oh, girl, that moment where all they had was just to look at each other.
With the whistling. Oh, my goodness. When he was looking for her. So Noah was looking for Rosalie because she was coming to save him. And we'll get into why she was saving him. But when they made that eye connection, I literally, I melted.
That's what you call brilliant acting.
Yeah, it was great.
Not saying anything. Both of them in their eyes. I saw the hope. I saw the love, the desperation.
All of it was.
Jesus. Listen.
No.
Rosalie gives me life.
That scene alone could have been the first episode because that's literally what's happening with everyone, not just between Rosalie and Noah, but between everyone. It's like, it was almost that connection. Like, there's this thing with African Americans, with Black people, where we're kind of walking on the street and we'll see somebody and we just do like a nod, and it's like a I see you kind of nod.
It's an understanding.
I don't need to say hi. I don't need to have a conversation. It's just like I see you. And they had that moment of, I see you, I'm here for you, I got you.
Yeah.
And that comfort was just like, okay, I need a hug. Like, so, like,
yes.
You know what I mean?
Can someone love me like that? I was like, ooh, where's my Noah?
Yeah.
You know, like because honestly, their fight and their will to live is in the hope of that reuniting. Like, that's what keeps them going. Like, her keeping going back and saving these people, Noah's part of those people she wants to save. And
you can tell that she needs him in a sense, because he's a part of her strength.
Oh,
like, he
for sure.
fuels her. And I think the fact that that's kind of broken away from us is what's going to develop the show even more. Like, it's going to be great. But we kind of need them to be reunited. Like, so if the producers or something are listening,
let's make it happen.
Like, next episode, because I don't have time for anything like this.
But at the same time, you have to remember Noah was such a pivotal role in her strength, in her finding. I think the man didn't give her the strength. She already had it on the inside of her, like you said. He just helped shed light to her strength, and that's just the beauty of finding someone who's equally yoked, someone who brings out the best in you, who sees you in a way that says, I see something that's in you that you don't even know that's in you, and I'm gonna help you access it because I want to see the best version of you. And that's what he did for her, and is continuing to do for her, even though they're apart, because their souls are connected. Because that soul tie, honey, that thing is real. They consummated. Oh,
that's it. Like,
yes.
They're one at this point. And since we're talking about Noah, let's just jump straight into him. He's still the man with the plan. He was the man with the plan then. He's the man with the plan now.
Okay, as a girl, how do you feel about the beard in season 2? You're not feeling it? No? I was just like, ooh, I have a thing for beards. So,
I mean, I like beards. I just didn't like his beard.
Oh, well, he's in the slavery times. It's not going to be clean.
I mean, but you asked me for my opinion. I mean, hello. It was just, it was really like,
I mean, he's not able to go to the barber shop.
And, okay, you know what it is? You know what it is?
He can't get a good shampoo in there.
Let me tell you what it is. Noah is a great character.
Yes.
But the person that plays Noah is so handsome.
Oh, Edwin Hodge. Shout outs. Listen, he's taking.
In all respects to that.
Yes.
So I think it's really hard once you identify the person,
right,
which is Aldous, and then the character Noah to disappear. It's like, I seen you look better, so I'm not sold right now. You know,
on the red carpet, how was he looking? Right. Uh-huh.
You know, the beard was anyway.
He was clean cut,
and he had on this nice suit jacket. He was stylish. It was working.
Yeah.
He's still the man with the plan.
Yes.
And I think that for him to have been in jail for 5 months, was it, this episode? He's been in jail for 5 months, and yet his eyes and his knowledge, and he's been excluded, but he still is so wise, and
he's always plotting.
Yeah.
Always.
And so I think a reoccurring theme of this show and even this episode is the fact that no man gets left behind.
No.
Ever. Like, everyone is saving everyone. And even while he was in jail and he saw them come up with a plan, he didn't say, oh, let me be a part of that plan. He didn't try to intercept it. The only thing he did was try to save them. And he was like, listen, you're going to kill yourself. I have a better plan. You can be free with me. And that was just, when you see guys come together in that sense.
Right. That bromance.
It's heartwarming. You know what I mean? Like, he broke it down for him, and it wasn't Mao. It wasn't like he wasn't calling him stupid. He wasn't saying you don't know what you're doing. He was like, there's a better way. So the fact that he was able to do that, I was just like, okay, Noah, you still got the plan. Like, you still confident. Like, up until when he was about to get hung, his head was high.
Oh yeah. He
accepted his, like, and that's what was so beautiful about him and Rosalie's scene, because you see his head drop where he was like, okay, I'm about to die, and then he hears the whistling and he's just like, oh wait, no, psych, like, right. And that awakening was just like, whew.
Oh, and talk about, like, a plan A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, Noah just has it all laid out because, first he thought the escape plan was going to go this way. And then he's about to get hung. So then there's a plan B and Rosalie's there and the explosion happened. But then that didn't work out because the guys came and then boom. He's chained up, but he got that.
Well, let's talk about that.
He has that little key thing. I was like, oh, this man had a plan for the plan for the plan.
He had a key thing. I missed that.
You missed. Oh, okay, girl. So like when they had him like with the thing over his head, and he's chained up and he's in the back, he pulls out what he was sharpening in the jail.
That's what that was.
Because he knew if he ever got caught,
that he would have to pick himself. That is so brilliant. So I lost it because I looked away because when the explosions happened, he was already, his neck was already in the rope, and it looked like he slipped, and I thought that he was accidentally gonna die. Yeah. So I literally I looked away, and then I looked back, so I missed the whole unshambling.
No, but they didn't show that there when. I know the part you're talking about. I thought he was gonna die too because it looked like he was hanging just a little bit.
His feet
and he was
slipped
choking.
Off.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, but no, it was after because he was on the carriage.
Right.
And they were following them, and he was shooting the guns, and the black guys died, and that whole. And then finally, when Rosalie was like, "Where's Noah?" and they were like, "They got him." Then there's that
in the carriage. I did catch that. It's coming back to me.
Yes.
I think that I was so blown away about how the producers tried to play us.
Oh, yeah.
Because
we thought they were going to be reunited right there.
Reunited. We thought they were going to be saved.
That's the getcha.
Right.
They got us. They were like, you know what? We're not going to give it to you on the first episode.
I was like. I was pissed. I can't even. And then he's in the carriage by himself yet again. And I'm like, are you gots to be kidding me? We done waited how many months since season 1?
Right.
And you still got this man in bondage?
Well, they got to get us back for episode 2.
And so you mentioned earlier that today is Women's International Day.
Yes.
And I think who better to bring up than Elizabeth?
Yes.
Now, when we were introduced to her, she was a little hesitant, but then she quickly joined her husband in wanting to free the slaves.
Right.
Now we see her kind of going out on her own and getting in cahoots with other women. Mm-hmm. The most beautiful thing about the whole thing is she went to this place, and I guess the group name was Sewing Circle.
Yes.
And she was the only one with an actual sewing kit. Like
it was the cutest thing ever. I was like, girl, you thought y'all were gonna sew.
She was so
cute.
Innocent with it. It was super cute, which is why it's hilarious to me because she was
we're gonna
like,
sew and talk about the movement.
She was like, oh, this is the sewing circle, right? And they were like, girl, here's your gun. This is what it's gonna be. And I'm just like, okay, finally, now she's already gotten her hands dirty, especially when she was taking care of Boo, and that kind of sparked her passion.
Right.
But now you see her wanting to do more. So the fact that they were out practicing how to shoot and, target practice and everything like that, and she hit one and she got joy from that because now she knows that she can be on the front fighting. How was it for you watching that scene with the women and just the camaraderie between them? Because it was women of all different colors.
Oh, that's what I loved about it in general. And even when you study women's history and the suffrage movement and all of that, any movement requires all kinds of people to come together. Yeah. It's just not going to happen if it's an all white, all black, all Latino. It needs for it to be all people to be behind it. And so it was beautiful that everyone had a seat at the table. Everyone had something to say. They're all doing this together. Just that sisterhood was just beautiful to watch. I was like, yes, come on, women. Because this is the season and this is the time and there's so much going on in the world. And so it's although this was so long ago, it's still so relevant in the need for women to come together because we're very powerful when we come together. And even when they're out in the woods and they're shooting the guns, that was so powerful for me, for them showing how important literacy was and how effective it was, that these newsletters and these newspapers was really what was helping advocate the change, which is why people didn't want slaves to know how to read, because knowledge is power, so it was
even
so
even a lot of their quotes, because when Liz first got into the room, they kind of had to educate her a little bit.
Yeah.
And as an audience, we too got educated because when Rosalie and John were in cahoots about getting Noah free, she, he was saying, I didn't know that the judge was going to let me down. I didn't know that he was going to break the rules. And Rosalie kind of slapped back and she was just like, rules don't apply for black folks.
Yeah.
And they kind of gave Elizabeth that same kind of theme. They were just like, this is what you know, this is what you think, but none of that applies anymore, which is why we have the guns, which is why we have our needles. There's going to be time for us to fellowship over the jam and everything like that, but right now it's about business. And I think that the fact that they educated us as an audience, because not everyone is looking up their history, not everyone is in the books, not everyone is on Google. You know, people get it how they receive it. We are the microwave generation, so if it's not coming on our timeline, we're not here for it. So the fact that they were putting in those little snippets of what happened or what's still happening, you know, just to get us a little more aware and more awake, I was like, okay, this is gonna be the episode of the season of education. And then they brought Harriet Tubman into it. Oh, so what better way to tie her into the loop? Now, I was disappointed a bit because they kind of just slipped her in there, no introduction. Not that she needs one. I mean, what is that for?
The end of season 1, we don't see her, right? But we see the hand and we see the introduction. So we knew.
We did.
Season 2, she was coming. And honestly, she really doesn't need no introduction. And Aisha Hines, honey.
Phenomenal.
Come on.
Phenomenal.
Come through.
Phenomenal.
You know, it's funny because people wonder, well, why we didn't see her in season 1, and at the end of season 1, they hadn't cast her yet. They didn't know who they wanted to be Harriet Tubman. And, you know, shout outs to the producers who really, really took their time to make sure this character is very important, and the casting needed to be right.
Yeah.
And Aisha Hines is just coming with
perfect.
Perfection.
Perfect. And I already know, even talking with some of the producers, that she sets the tone for this season. Like, and she's like a rookie castmate, you know what I mean? But she is going to bring so much fire, and even in her temperament with this episode, we see her. She's just like, child, don't worry about him. Child, like, we have to keep moving. We have an end goal. And I feel like she's now becoming she's going to be the one with the focus, the one to keep everyone in line and in check. Maybe that was Rosalie, maybe Noah had something to do with it, and maybe Ernestine, but now it's Harriet.
Well, I'm curious to hear her backstory, because it's like, there's a reason why she's so hard.
Right.
And Rosalie alludes to it.
With
like,
the John.
Yeah, like, well, you went back for him, and it's not the same for me and Noah. And it's just like, the people she wanted to save, apparently she couldn't save. So it's like, for her, there's no necessarily emotional attachment anymore. It's like cut and dry. Like, either you can make this voyage or you can't.
And that usually happens after a heartbreak. But I am too curious just to know the more sensitive side.
Right.
What happened before you became who you are?
Right.
Like, what experiences did you have? What shaped you? How are you this way? What motivated you? Like, all of it.
And why do you keep going back?
Yeah.
I mean, she took so many voyages back to the South, and like, how do you keep going? And the sacrifices she had to make, because some people had to go, some people had to die.
Now, her opening scene was really powerful. It's when they were in the forest and she has these guns, and she's, you know, she's just real like, my hands are tired, I'll pay you. She's like, whatever, like, this is not about to go down. She owns the situation. She owns the people who are trying to capture the slaves.
She's a boss.
She owns it all. And even then, she kind of brought up her dad and the things that he taught her. And I was like, ooh, I want to know more. It was almost like story time. Like, I want to now get into you. Like, I want to know more about you. Like, tell me. And they're being real scarce with the information, giving it to us here and there. So definitely something to look forward to. Now, the ultimate shocker of this episode is John.
Oh, I knew it was coming. I was like, you know, I was devastated. First of all, I didn't even see it coming. Let's talk about that. Like,
at all.
I've always known that there's been there's been a mark on his head for a while, you know, and there's always that suspense, and there's always that like, they're gonna come for John, because people, I mean, whites hated other whites that protected Negroes almost worse than they hated Negroes themselves. So it was like, whoa, you know, you're an N lover is what they would call you. And but I just didn't think that they would kill him off the show. Come on, guys. At first episode though, like the first one, like
which is why it was so good though. Like, I'm mad as a fan of the show, but then when I step outside of it, I'm like, okay, but this is what makes a good show.
Yeah, for
this
sure.
makes it good, but I'm still pissed off about it. Let's not get that twisted.
And the way it happened,
yeah,
like it was like, man, like,
and we talked about music. the music that cued as he rode down the steps literally had me wanting to shake. I was just like, okay, this is it. I was stunned.
The shot of just him. Like, listen, the thing is, but the scene before when he's coming to his wife and is saying, what do you think about this? Like, in order for me to really evoke change, I have to be within.
Right.
You know, so let me get a seat at the table, you know, and it was just like, yeah, I support that. Let's do that. You know, there are a lot of people that even now want to see policy change and things like that. And it's like, yeah, you know, you could be out there shouting like slavery is wrong, but if we're not being in a position to help change the law, how effective are we? And that light bulb went off for him, and that was hope for us. Like, we're gonna have someone on the inside.
And even when they walked out so joyful
because there was hope in that.
There was hope. The judge shut them down, and John, being who he is, wasn't like, okay, I don't know what we're going to do. That's it. He said, all right, now I need to get to a place where this can never happen again.
Right.
So we already loved him as a character. We already loved him, but now we fell in love with him more.
Right.
We're just like, yes, like, thank you. You're on our side. You're fighting for us. You're fighting for everyone. And at the snap of a finger, like, someone was just, like, the way that they shouted his name too, like, you can tell it was an assassin. It wasn't like they almost knew what he was up to.
Right.
Like, they knew that he wanted a seat at the table so that he can continue to free slaves. Mm-hmm. So when they shouted John Hawk, I thought that they were going to congratulate him or something. I didn't think that
the moment I heard the name like that, I knew it wasn't good. I just didn't think he was going to die. Like, I thought it was going to be like another show that's really popular where the president gets shot, but he doesn't die.
Right.
You know, they just shot him and then he's in ICU for a while. So I'm like, okay, they're going to shoot him. She's going to rush him to some medic, and it's going to be this whole thing, cliffhanger, where next week we have to see if he survived. But no, it's just straight up dead on the scene.
I felt like Elizabeth in that scene, though, because, you know, she ducked from the fire, like, from the shots, and then she kind of looked like, okay, babe, get up. But when she saw that was it, like, he wasn't moving, you can see the reality set in. Mm-hmm. And that was me. The me was, like you, I didn't think that he was going to die, but as soon as I saw him laid out, the reality just, like it was a heaviness that just made me drop.
Well, thank God for the sewing circle, because now she'll have some support somewhere where she can funnel and channel her grief into. This is about to be really difficult on her. A woman in that time on her own without a husband, because back in those days, it just wasn't right for a woman to fend for herself. Women couldn't even really get jobs. So it's like, how is she going to make a living, fend for herself in this kind of world without John?
You know what?
I don't even know.
Last season, I would have said it was impossible. But we saw so much of her backbone being built this episode, even when he wanted to talk about the fact that Tom, you know, he missed his brother. She was still like, she was getting stronger and stronger this whole episode, and I didn't realize it until literally just now. And it was because she was about to lose her husband. Mm-hmm. And it's going to turn her into a complete bad mama jama. I don't know why I use that word.
Yeah,
but
for real.
It's going to literally turn her out, and now she's going to be unstoppable.
Oh, for sure. That's the thing. There are key moments in our lives that we have no realization in the moment, but that shape us.
Right.
And it literally changes the course of where we're going. And, you know, pressure busts pipes or it makes diamonds. And I think this is her diamond shaping season.
Right. So let's get into some predictions for next episode.
I love predictions.
I wonder what's going to happen.
I love predictions.
Now, your AfterBuzz
I'm trying to see if...
predictions.
I don't know why I don't have my glasses on. I see you guys in the chat room.
Hey, guys.
And I want to acknowledge you and read what you have.
Shayla says she hates the beard. The beard got to go.
So me and Shayla are here. Shayla, I'm with you, girl. So what do you think is going to happen next episode?
Oh, okay. So definitely Ernestine, we're going to see so much more of like how she got to this place with this dude. Because I want to know why she, like, yeah, we're just going to know. But I believe something's gonna happen where she's going to like break in the sense of like she's gonna start plotting on how to get out of this situation, how to get up under it, or like, you know how in Goosebumps you'd flip through the book, if you go this way you go this way. So I think either she's gonna go the way of escape or she's gonna attempt to kill herself, and that's gonna then spark a whole bunch of things. But she's not gonna get to go through with it. Someone's either going to stop her or she stops herself, but one of those two is going to happen for her. And then, of course, we're going to be introduced to a whole bunch of other people, like people that weren't around in this episode but are going to come back, because we know the man with the face, the famous face, I know he's still alive.
Kato.
Yes.
Kato.
Yes, we know he's still alive. So he's coming back. So I know we're going to see him and his quest to find his wife.
I hope he had a change of heart, because I did not like Kato, and it just, okay, I'm get into that.
We'll get into that next week.
I don't know how I feel about Kato.
But
I mean,
he's
I love
coming
you,
back.
brother, but
I call him the man with the face.
So I love the fact that you brought up, like, your prediction is maybe Ernestine is going to take a path of suicide, because when Pearly May came back, she alluded to that in a sense.
She was like, kill yourself.
And I was like, no, boo, we don't kill ourselves around here. Like we can't. We're not. She's not. I can't. I can't handle it if she does.
Ooh, let's just breathe.
I feel like next episode, we're going to get more into who Elizabeth is.
Ooh.
We've gotten a lot
There's a good prediction in the chat.
What does it say?
Ernestine is going to kill her new husband with her potions.
Ooh.
That's a good one.
He deserves to die.
I mean, listen.
I mean, I love you, Robert, but
you gotta go.
You got to
Don't
go.
be putting your hands on us women's.
And it was nothing to him. Like, anyway, I think that we're going to get more into Liz next episode. I think that we got a lot of surface stuff from her. Like,
right.
she's very the sweet, Southern gal. She's very heartwarming. Now it's going to be a shift. Not that we're going to lose the sweetness, but that's not going to be her main storyline. Her main storyline isn't no longer going to be support. More so because she's forced into that, but also, like, I know in the previews I saw something with snakes and she was walking away at the funeral, and I'm just like, ooh. Like, all I wanted to see was, like, fire go down the aisle, because that's just how passionate I feel like she's going to be now with trying to free the slaves. And I'm going to keep it as that, because I don't know what the heck is going to happen with Noah. I don't know why he's still captured. I don't know who those men are.
Right.
I really just don't know. Like, it can go so many ways right now.
So many ways. Clearly, episode 1 is a great prediction to the prediction that we're never going to know what's happening. Like, they're just going to keep us on our toes this whole season. I know it.
I can say that I feel like this season is going to move away from storyline. Like, okay, first this happened, then this happened, next that happened. Yeah. And it's going to get more in depth. Like, it's going to be way more action. I feel like it's just, whew, I'm so excited. I'm so ready.
I just have to say one little thing. We both went to the season premiere of Underground last week, and Sally Hangout found herself sneaking her way into the Underground after party, because I love this show so much that I was like, it's one thing to watch it on the screen in the theater with everyone, but I was like, I want to hang out with these people. Like, so I won't tell you how I finagled my way in there.
I kind of want to know.
But
like, did you take
that's gonna be behind the scenes. But I finagled my way in there, and beautiful enough, one of my friends is really good friends with Amira, who plays Ernestine, and I was able to meet her, and she's so lovely, and introduced me to her mom and her boyfriend.
She gave me hair care tips. She was like, okay, girl, for natural hair, I go to this salon. And I was just like, thank you.
We keyed it, and then also Aldis's brother was there, Chase. Well, Chase is who he plays on this other show, but his name is Edwin Hodge, and he's actually an actor on The Six, which is another show here on AfterBuzz that I do the after show for. And I rolled up on him, and I was like, hey, listen, I'm on AfterBuzz. You coming on? And literally the next day, he came to AfterBuzz.
That's so
and hung out
amazing.
with me here. So it's just one of those things. They're all just such lovely people, and there's so many people in the building, and so many black folks. I mean, Angela Bassett was there.
The passion in the room. It's
this
definitely
show.
You can see it on screen.
People love this show.
Yeah,
people love this show,
and the people behind the show are phenomenal.
Yes,
there's this is going to be
we
an
can
amazing.
Talk all day. We can be here all day.
This is going to be an amazing season. So if you missed tonight's episode, definitely go back and watch it. And we'll be here next Tuesday, same time, 8 p.m.
Wednesday. We're here every Wednesday.
And that's all the time that we have for today.
Yeah.
So, Sally, where can I find you in the meantime?
Guys, make sure all things social media at Sally Hangout. And of course, I'm also on The Breaks, VH1, AfterBuzz, if you want to catch me on that as well.
And guys, you can follow me on all social platforms at hey_it's Elay. And until next time, bye.
Bye, y'all.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.